Welcome, everyone. This is Why Would We Show You This? I was trying to do something different there.
Why would we show you?
Why would we show you? I'm trying to do a bunch of stuff different now. Never mind. Should that go in? Maybe? I don't know. Let's try that again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Why Would You Show Me This? I'm Will.
I'm Dani.
And we watched a good one this week.
We did.
I'm in your light. We watched Rock and Roll Nightmare. And if you haven't heard of this is a fantastic, horrible horror movie from the 80s. And starring John Michael Thor, who was a musician, and his band Triton did the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
So let me read the synopsis here. A hot new rock group. Their sexy young girlfriends. It should have been the best time of their lives, but it ended up being a rock and roll nightmare. Recording some new music in an isolated farmhouse, the band gets more than they bargained for when something horrifying stirs in the darkness. Eternal evil haunts this place, and the band members start turning into demons from hell itself. After a day of making music and making love, this band is starting to break up, one by one, limb by limb. The band's lead singer, John Michael Thor, Triton, holds the key to defeating this horror once and for all. A secret that culminates in a battle between good and evil. Triton versus the devil himself. They really give it away, huh?
I mean, I didn't read the back and I knew it was going to happen probably.
Yeah.
So
I don't need to read the rest of that.
No.
Alright, so I showed this to Dani, obviously. She wouldn't show me something like this.
No.
What is your initial thoughts on it?
I don't like it.
You didn't even like it for the enjoyment, the cheesy enjoyment?
No, because I didn't enjoy it until the last 10 fucking minutes of this movie.
Yeah.
The rest of it is boring as fuck.
Pretty boring.
It's really boring.
They play a song, they have sex.
They have sex.
Or talk about having sex.
Yes.
And they do dishes.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Over and over and over again.
Dishes are mentioned at least 3 times.
We see people doing dishes twice.
And
then there's a third mention of doing the dishes.
Yeah, and that counts to me.
Yes.
It's bullshit and it's stupid.
To me, the dishes is them doing dishes is the most unbelievable thing in this movie.
Oh God, you told me
they are what?
You told me there's a message to this film, and
Oh wait, yes. Let's talk about the dishes first. We'll get to the message. The dishes, they're rock stars. Like they're in a band. Obviously, they're a popular band. If they're renting a farmhouse to record their album and rehearse, why are they doing dishes? I don't understand it. I just assumed every time I see them doing dishes. Well, so the first scene, it is their manager and the wives doing dishes. That makes sense. Because the band, they're the band. They record and they blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But then in the second scene, one of the band members is doing dishes. Yeah. And then John Michael Thor does dishes.
He does?
Right? Yeah, he does. I think you missed that part.
I missed it.
There's lots of chores in this film.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of the movie?
I don't know if I have a favorite part. Do I have to have a favorite part?
You don't have to have a favorite part. What is the part that you're going to remember the most from this movie? Besides just the end of the movie.
I don't know. Maybe the hand coming through the guy, right before they have sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big old demon hand.
Yeah, the big bloody hand that comes out of his chest.
And she just stands there.
Yeah, she just stands there. She doesn't run away or anything.
Yeah. So. And then we hear the Wilhelmina scream.
Sure.
Since it wasn't the Wilhelm scream.
No, it wasn't.
But it is a scream that you've heard before. And I don't think there is a single real scream in this movie from anyone.
No.
They're all stock.
It's all stock screams, which is interesting.
Yes.
And you told me that that's probably because they were bad at it.
I think everyone that was in this movie, I mean, obviously, There is no one that is really a good actor in this movie.
It's true.
But yeah, I think they all sucked, and the director was like, "Oh, needs to sound better than that." But the one thing I think that is weird is that the movie does try to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
There's the whole beginning part after what feels like a half hour of shots of their van driving. We get to the place that they're going to record their album, and the caretaker is there, and he's recanting all these stories about all these other bands that came and recorded there. And their manager continues to reference the keys, trying to get the keys from him, and then just trying to leave. And it becomes this like who's on first thing.
Yeah.
And
it was not funny.
It was not funny. I think that they thought it was really funny.
It was their attempt at being funny.
Yes, there's a few.
Just wasn't funny.
There's a few attempts at being funny. There's the monster that somebody just chucked the monster prop over John Thor's head.
Yep.
There's all the monsters that are in this movie besides the end monster are like tiny little cyclops looking.
Yeah. And they're
monsters.
like weirdly cute.
A little bit, yeah, they are.
They're not even like frightening, really,
yeah,
because they make these little squeaky noises and stuff, and you're just like, oh, that's kind of cute.
The first time we're introduced to one, it looks like it's about to throw up in a cup.
It does. It looks like it's gonna throw up in a cup. I'm sorry. It's gonna throw up in a cup, and I definitely thought that was gonna happen.
Yeah, and it didn't. He just went.
No,
and then he
but
backed up.
apparently he didn't like the music that was being played.
No, they really didn't like it.
I guess that was his reaction to it.
Yeah. He couldn't throw up because of the music. It was so bad he couldn't even throw up.
That's not good.
Yeah. But there, what was I saying about those? About the monsters?
That they were bad.
They were bad. Yes. They're also meant to be funny. Because there's that one scene when there's the one and he just has like a cigarette and he's just smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And
they're supposed to be funny in some parts. It's really
in some
weird.
way. There's a weird like comedy element to this movie that doesn't work.
No.
And I'm not quite sure.
There's a lot about this movie that doesn't work.
That's very true. I would say 90% of this movie does not work.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, I don't know, it is boring.
The characters are flat. They're pretty two-dimensional.
They are. I mean, we have the guy that does the horrible British accent.
And it's not British. I think he's trying to be Australian.
Australian, whatever. It's horrible. Whatever he's trying to do is very, very bad.
It's not good.
Very bad. Yeah, all the nobody. The girls are just there to be naked. The guys are there to die, and except for John Michael Thor.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah. It's just bad all around.
This is a movie, this is the second movie in a row now that I feel like definitely earns the why would you show me this
It does,
title.
Because I didn't enjoy that. I didn't enjoy it.
You enjoyed the ending, I feel.
Yeah, but I called it too.
Okay, I want to know, before we get into what the ending is, what gave you a feeling of what part of the movie gave you a feeling that you knew what the ending was going to be? At what part in the movie?
Because he's blonde and strong and all that shit, and of course I'm just like, no, like especially because he was not bothered by the devil showing up in his true form, and he was just like, no, it's fine.
Oh, well, no, but that's the end. That's when they're telling you what happened. True. You can't call it right when they're telling you what happens.
I can't before he revealed what he is and all that shit. Like, I called it before that. I just didn't say anything.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I know.
I believe that totally.
Like, that's a likely story, but I mean,
I did.
This is not a. Wait, fuck you. This is not a good movie, and you would believe that I would be able to call it because that's an insult.
No, it's not an insult because the movie's ending surprised me so much when I first saw it. I was flabbergasted. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Okay, so the spoilers for the end of this movie. We're just gonna go right to it because that's the most important and most a fascinating part of this film to me, and I'm not quite sure. I haven't read up on the director or John Michael Thor's background or anything. But you get to the end of the film, and we find out that John Michael Thor, the devil just comes up and he's like, I'm the devil, and or he doesn't say that he's the devil. John Michael Thor says, I know you, and names every single name that you could name the devil. And then he's like, I'm an archangel.
Yeah.
And nobody else was here. It was just me.
Yeah.
And I'm here to stop you. Why do you keep trying to take over the earth? Blah, 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 blah. And then he eventually beats the devil. And then he starts spouting some, like, Bible verses. And then the movie ends. And to me, I was watching a stupid hold on, wait. Just to me, I was watching a stupid, schlocky B horror movie. And then in the last 10 minutes, it becomes a Christian film about good versus evil, and we will always beat the devil, and then there's a Bible verse thrown at right at the end of the movie, and it was just such a weird emotional twist at the end of a stupid schlocky horror movie.
Was this what inspired you to do Interview with a Satanist?
Exactly. No, it was not. But that's why, for you to say that you called it, I'm like, and nowhere in the movie do they ever let on that this is going to take some sort of Christian turn in the last 10 minutes.
I don't know. I feel like this is the only explanation for the end of this film. I mean, and I'm not saying like at the end of this film, I mean before it.
Yeah.
That, I mean, what other way was it going to go? Was the devil just gonna like kill everybody and then that was gonna be the end? I mean, that couldn't be it. You know
yeah, I mean, at a certain point, you're like, everyone's dying but him.
Exactly.
What's going to happen? I mean,
Exactly.
you could literally just think that he's going to somehow find a way to beat these demons. I mean, there's plenty of movies.
Well, you did warn me that there was a message.
There is a
to
message.
This film. So then
yes.
That was kind of the tip off for me, as I'm like, okay, there's a message to this film?
Yeah.
Okay. This is probably what it is.
I mean,
anything.
That's just what I feel like it is. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just they wanted to do some sort of weird Bible horror movie. There were some biblical elements. I just felt that it takes a weird twist into this Christianity movie type territory.
No, it definitely does.
And for this movie, it's so weird. And I probably should have looked it up to see if that was an intention of the filmmakers or anyone making this. But yeah, that caught me completely off guard when I first saw this movie. I just couldn't stop laughing that was the end of this fucking haunted house movie with like little Cyclops demons.
Mm-hmm.
There's even he goes and he opens the fridge and there's a chicken that's in the fridge, and that turns out to be a one-eyed monster thing with sharp teeth.
Yeah.
It's a weird tone this movie is trying to stick with.
There's at least one good thing about this film. Whoever did the puppetry for this did a pretty good job. Whoever made the puppets did a good job.
Okay job?
That's it.
Okay job.
No, if I made those little Cyclops demons.
Yes. Okay, they're better.
Then I'd be pretty.
There we go. They're better than what we could make. So
That's true.
Kudos. The devil puppet could have used a little work, I would say.
Yeah, the devil puppet was a little stagnant. It needed a little more movement.
If you're gonna have a fight that lasts a whole song,
yes,
you're gonna need something a little bit better, or you're gonna need a leading man that can act a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But
or both.
Or yeah, both would have been better. Both would have been great. I mean, I'm not quite sure how much it was to make this movie, but
it's a lot to ask of, to do both.
I don't want to hate on it though. I think
No.
I enjoy it. Like, this movie has enough in it for me that it's enjoyable to see what they were trying to do.
But it does do the, bait and switch, which is kind of bullshit.
Oh, it does. Yeah. I mean, the thing about sorry, I'm interrupting you.
It's fine.
I was just thinking about some scenes that if he was the only person there.
Yes. Those are a little weird.
Yeah.
Like,
do you want to take this?
Yeah, he has sex with his girlfriend or his wife.
Girlfriend, wife. They're all like a girlfriend or a wife.
Yeah, and he has sex with her in the shower. So
yes, a very gross sex scene where they're tonguing each other.
Yeah.
And there's obviously an ass shot of John Michael Thor because
of course
you gotta have that.
Yeah, to sell the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's important.
He was like, my music, my ass. This movie's gonna make a bunch of money.
Yeah. And so if he reveals in the end that nobody was actually there with him, he's there by himself. So are we to assume that he just like masturbated?
Or he mimed having sex with someone?
Sure.
It's because the devil was watching and
Yeah.
he needed to continue to make this ruse go.
Yeah. Like the movie isn't weird enough, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We gotta add that to it.
Yeah, that throws the whole movie into another weird thing. Like, they talked, like, the whole movie just didn't happen then?
Wait, so are you telling me that he, like, played music just
By himself. He was just him and his bass put on the wrong side of him.
Yep.
Just.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's it.
Like, I would love a shot of, like, him with the band, like, playing and hearing that.
Yeah.
And then just cut to just him and whatever the fuck.
See, that would have been funny. Then the movie would have been funny.
That would have been really funny.
Also, when you think about it, so there's the drummer, who I'm glad that I remembered because he's the most horrible acting drummer I've ever seen in a movie.
And slow.
No, he's not lazy. That dude has never been in front of a drum kit before, and he got this movie role where he's a drummer and he's like a robot. He's like.
It's really stilted.
I mean, it's like they had to show him a video and he's like, "Oh fuck. Oh no." And then he's the worst. But he gets killed by a demon thing. Mm-hmm. And then him as a possessed demon, or the demon has taken his form, has sex with his girlfriend, and it seems like it's the only orgasm he's ever given her.
It is. It is. Because there's no sex like demon sex.
Yeah, no sex like demon sex. But
it would be a very special episode for something.
Yes. So that none of that happened. So what's the point of it being in the movie? It's so weird. It's so weird to me. It's a twist ending that makes no sense, that ruins everything else about the movie, but also it's also what makes the movie memorable for me. Because literally I watched this a long time ago and that's all I remembered was the end. That's the only thing that I remembered.
It's a good end.
It is. I mean, it makes up for some of the movie being pretty boring and stagnant.
It's weird because you're like, this is interesting, but at the same time, I'm a little betrayed.
Yeah, exactly. You ruin the whole rest of the movie, but I kind of like it.
Yeah. It's like, I wish you wouldn't use this kind of music for this message.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
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 Uh-huh.
Yeah. Use a heavy metal band to promote Christianity.
No.
No, there are Christian metal bands.
Don't. We won't even get into that.
I like a few.
And I'm not saying that metal has to be affiliated with Satan. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not like that. It just seems ironic. And not ironic, but you know what I mean.
A little bit ironic.
It doesn't make sense. Don't bring up that song, I swear to God. No, but you know what I mean.
Yes. It's just so out of left field. It's basically like the ending to The Village. When that comes out of nowhere and you're like, what the fuck?
That's a whole nother discussion.
We're not going to get into that.
Yeah, because you don't like that movie and I do.
No, but I also haven't watched it in a very long time. But I remember not liking the end and thinking, this is so out of left field. Like, it feels like if it's an ending that is like, oh, I'm clever. Like, you know? That's what I feel about the ending of The Village.
I mean, I guess. I've gotten that feling from some of his other films, but that one I don't. Yeah. Like, that one I'm like, no, that makes sense.
And we're not even going to go into my M. Night Shyamalan beef, if you will.
No.
I continue to give this man tries. I watch his movies and I hope for the best, and I am always disappointed. So no more M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, after The Visit, I'm a little like that's the last movie.
Everyone said The Visit was amazing.
It wasn't.
Ugh.
But we won't get into that. It's a different
movie. Different movie, sorry. He has made some good films though. I will say that. I don't want to completely shit on the man. No. He has made some good films. But he's disappointed me a lot as well. The Happening was probably one of the biggest disappointments.
Oh yeah.
In a movie theater for me. Because I was like, first R-rated M. Night Shyamalan. This has become the M. Night Shyamalan episode. You know, what happened? Well, that's what this is. The movie has that.
Because I understand the message of The Happening. It's just so heavy-handed.
It's so ham-fisted. And it's just like, this is not the way to do it. And if you're going to do it this way, make it way more interesting than what it is.
Yes.
But yes, I'm going to go ahead. Yeah. Rock and Roll Nightmare, or AKA The Edge of
AKA.
Hell,
Mhm.
which is the opening title that comes in when you come into the movie, which is a better title. It gives away more.
It does.
I mean, Rock and Roll Nightmare doesn't bring you into anything about the movie, but The Edge of Hell,
Well, Rock and Roll Nightmare could mean anything. You know
I
what
mean, yeah.
Like,
It could have been a vampire movie.
exactly.
It could have been a zombie movie. It could have been anything.
Mhm.
I actually prefer the name The Edge of Hell, though. I think that's a better title for the movie.
I don't.
No, you don't think
like-
any title for this movie would be good, dude?
No, like I said, I like the original title because it doesn't give anything away. It's very vague.
Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Yeah, it's very vague.
Super vague. All you know is that there's going to be some sort of rock and roll
Yeah.
and a night and some sort of horror.
You know it's gonna be horror and rock and roll,
Yes.
and that I like because
Yes.
I think that's the way you should go into this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Though we've already spoiled it, but that's what I
Yes.
mean. You know, it's just I like that because I think, like you said, it gives away The Edge of Hell gives away too.
It lets you in a little bit.
Yeah.
You understand that there's going to be some sort of hell stuff.
No, I like it. I like it when B movies have arbitrary names that don't really give anything away at all, or better yet, don't have anything to do with
whatsoever.
anything, which I love.
What would be like your favorite? Do you have one?
Shit, I have no idea.
No.
Off the top of my head.
I'm trying to think of like some sort of like B horror movie that doesn't let you in whatsoever, because a lot of them are very blunt.
They are.
Like, I mean,
There are.
Night of the Demons, which this movie can kind of feel like at some points.
A little bit. There's the feel.
It's the movie is exactly what the title is.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a lot. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. I can't even think of one that doesn't really let you in. Never mind.
When did you first see this movie?
I saw this probably when I was 23 or 24.
Okay.
Close to about a decade ago then. It was one that I had heard of. I knew the cover. I think anyone back in the like mid 2000s, if you were really into horror and collecting DVD, and you knew the words Anchor Bay, Synapse, Blue Underground, like you followed all of those releasing companies, you knew this movie because it was one of the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I eventually got it and got very inebriated with my friend. We watched it. We laughed like crazy. The ending blew our fucking mind. And at least it blew mine. But I do remember but I didn't remember most of the movie till the end. So it is, it's boring. Excuse me. But I think the ending makes it worth it. It's a lot of films. It's a lot of it sucks. But this one part is so ridiculous that you have to watch the movie.
It's true.
Especially with a lot of old horror movies that I used to be super into.
Mm-hmm.
Are you happy that you have seen this movie? Like,
sure.
Are you do you think
Sure.
did you get at least a little bit of enjoyment where you're like, oh, I had fun watching that, at least a little bit? It didn't ruin.
A little bit. I mean, some of the songs I was like rocking
Yeah,
to, so
some of the
there you
Triton
go.
songs.
Yeah, there you go.
Are pretty good.
I never want to hear it again.
Energy.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it ever again.
Which is the laziest chorus ever, but it does get stuck in your head.
I mean, sure they're catchy, but
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, somebody's alarm is going off.
Sorry.
Oh no. We're recording.
I'm so sorry.
So, two small parts of the film that I forgot to talk about that I would like to talk about. One that made me laugh very, very, very hard. So the horrible drummer, this is before the demon sex, and she's satisfied. They have sex, and she is not satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
And he's all happy, and he has all this dopamine running through him. And he starts singing the song that they just played.
God.
Like a minute ago. And the height of ego to have sex and then start singing your own song.
It's akin to having sex to your own song.
Yes, it's basically like, I think they did have the music on. There's
I'm
a lot of
pretty
scenes
sure.
where pretty sure it was the band's music playing when they were having sex,
Mm-hmm.
when they were doing the dishes, when they were doing anything, their music was playing.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other favorite thing is during the ending, they're fighting John Michael Thor and the devil, and to I guess, show off Thor's fancy footwork. They get a shot of his feet kind of crisscrossing backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get another shot of them, and then we get the same shot of the not so great devil feet doing the same thing that he did.
It's bad.
I don't know why they chose to put that
it.
scene in there.
I think I even said it was like, you don't need to show the devil's feet.
No.
It's fine.
Yeah, though, I mean, those are two of my favorite parts of the movie. They're just so ridiculous to me. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to say about Rock and Roll Nightmare?
It really is a rock and roll nightmare.
Yeah.
For sure. It's just not... It's a nightmare that's boring.
So it should have been called Boring Nightmare?
Yeah, it should have been Rock and Roll...
The Edge of Boredom?
Rock and Roll Lullaby from Hell.
Rock and Roll... The Devil's Rock and Roll Lullaby.
The Devil's Lullaby.
The Devil's Lullaby sounds like a good movie, so they couldn't use that. I would watch The Devil's Lullaby.
Yeah?
That sounds good.
Okay.
Is there a movie called The Devil's Lullaby? I hope
see.
So.
I'm
If not, I'm taking
sure
it.
there is.
Trademark Devil's Lullaby. I will write a story around that name.
Okay.
The devil singing people to death.
Okay, sure. Sure.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing this movie. I don't like it.
Thank you, no thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I
Thanks,
mean,
no thanks.
you've shown me movies I don't like, so I feel like we're pretty
We're even.
we're even.
Is that how we're gonna play it?
Yeah. There should be a running tally.
You made me
of-
watch She's the Man. So,
She's the Man wasn't even that bad. You made me watch Fired Up.
I still am sad that you don't like Fired Up as much as I
Fired
do.
Up is terrible, and we don't have to talk about that. We talked about that for a half hour, and whatever episode
And
number
that was
that is.
enough.
That's enough for me. I don't ever want to think about that movie again. This movie, I'm fine with thinking about over and over and over again. Once we're done with recording this podcast, I'm going to look up to see if there was some sort of their intention was to add some Christianity stuff into this
I
movie.
wonder.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we will.
So we are to the rating portion. At what would you give it?
A 3.
3 out of 10?
Yeah. Solid 3.
Solid 3. Fair.
Boring as fuck.
Fair.
Until the end.
Fair. If you were a guy, it wouldn't be that boring.
Sure.
They have enough boobs in there to keep the men interested.
Truthfully, I don't agree.
No. Oh, why not? There's 6 boobs.
There's yeah, but it's I'm gonna go hate for this. There's they don't show them for very long.
They don't.
And also all of the sex in this, I swear to God, maybe it's people who are just not used to being filmed. I could see how that would make them clam up or whatever.
Mhm.
These people act like they've never had sex in their lives.
Except the keyboard player.
Oh yeah, okay.
So the keyboard player,
knows how to have sex.
the keyboard player is having sex with the guitar player because they have this whole relationship.
Mhm.
And first we see them, he's on top, and it's the most awkward looking sex you've ever seen.
It's very awkward.
Then she gets on top, and it turns into a fucking porno.
And it's like, wait, no, she's
it's
had sex.
that's the
She
best
knows what she's
acting
doing.
in the whole movie is her being on top of the guitar player.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the most believable thing in the movie.
Yep.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
3 out of 10 is not bad. I would give it about a 5 out of 10.
Okay.
It's very enjoyable. The ending, I think next time I watch it, there's some scenes that you can skip, I would say. I don't know. See, this is the thing. The jokes that don't work, is it funny because they don't work? They don't work, so it kind of leaves you like that joke is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? But I don't know if I even find that funny that the joke is so terrible. It's just well, that was a really terrible joke.
Do.
You do?
Yeah.
But you gave it a lower score than me.
I did, but that whole Who's on First scene, their
bad.
their attempt at comedy is so bad
Yeah.
that it is you still laugh at it because you're like, what the fuck
This
is
is
that?
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
But-
something to be said for that.
There is a reason why I only remembered the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Because it can be a
'Cause it's
fucking
boring.
slag.
Yeah,
It's just-
it is a little bit.
Yeah.
Where I'm just a lot of this didn't. And there's also lots of shots that linger. on
Oh my
nothing.
god, yeah, the van, there's tons of shots that just linger for way too long, and they're just padding it because they realize they didn't shoot enough.
No.
The movie is an hour and 38 minutes,
I
98
think so.
minutes. So if they cut out the padding, it would have probably been like 80 some minutes. Probably it would have been enough. But I guess they wanted to hit that 90-minute mark.
I guess.
Most movies do.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it was fun to show it to you.
Mhm.
It was fun to see it again for the first time in a long time. It's just the ending is is the biggest thing about this movie.
Yeah.
And it's the most enjoyable thing about this movie. It's fun to watch the horrible acting, but the ending is what this movie's about for me. Well, at least you didn't give it a 1.
No, I didn't.
I mean, that's pretty good.
It is.
Do you have any idea what next week's gonna be? Next week, I believe we're gonna have Danny showing me a movie.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna break the one guest after another thing. So do you have any ideas?
I do, but I'm not telling you shit.
Oh, I don't want you to tell me. You can give
Okay,
me a
cool.
hint.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. Can you give a hint to the audience, and I will close my ears.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm not telling you guys shit.
Oh, bullshit. Bullshit.
No, you gotta be along for the ride with Will, right?
I guess so.
Like that's what you guys would want.
Yeah.
You want to be surprised just like him. So I'm not telling you shit. I'm not telling you shit.
Fine. We'll see next week.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for listening and or watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.